So Reen Randrup, we are on the play. Can't really keep this hand. It has some good interaction, but we are short one land. If we had one more source of blue mana, this would be a pretty strong hand. I mean, we could keep it on Mental Misstep and Force of Will and just kind of hope that we draw into something. But I think I'm going to mulligan. That might be worse. But, I mean, we're going to get a Scry. If we find an island, then maybe we can go on like a Mana Denial plan. Silver Glow Adept. Help us draw a card. We have some interaction. But no, I mean this is still pretty bad. I very rarely win going down to 5 though. Alright, so there's our island. So it might not actually be too bad.
This year, take a leap and make your dream a reality. Whether it's pursuing a passion or starting a new business.
This is my fashion line. This is my Squarespace.
From actor to fashion designer, John Malkovich made.
Alright, so Volcanic Island. Hopefully we're not playing against Mentor again. It is a bad matchup for Merfolk.
And save 10% with offer code Spotify. Make your next move.
But it looks like it's probably what we're playing against, if I had to guess. Just based off the popularity of the deck and, you know, just that these are common cards in that deck. So we are going to run out this Silver Gull Adept. Try to undo that mulligan a little bit. And if it is Mentor, we have a Force of Will. We can try to, you know, force a Mentor if they're able to try to play one the next turn or two. We do have Echoing Truth if they try to build a bunch of tokens. And we could, I think we force here just because we need a clock. And unfortunately, that means probably getting rid of the Echoing Truth. Yeah. I need some creatures out. Especially because this 1/1 becomes a 2/2 unblockable with this Master. I think right now we really just need to try to race a little bit. Unfortunately, they're on Gush now. Okay, so they're a Pyromancer deck. I think I might actually just double Wasteland them here. So I'm going to run a Curse Catcher out first. No, actually, I kind of want to dismember this young Pyromancer. Man, it really stinks that they have Gush right now, because if we try to target one of their... I think we have to go for it. If they don't Gush, then we're in a good spot. But even if they do, then we can still dismember young Pyromancer. So maybe it actually would have been better to lead with Dismember. And then we could have saved the Wasteland. Yeah, I think we just made a mistake there. So they would have had the mental misstep anyway. I don't think I'm willing to trade this Silver Gill Adept at this point in time, especially if we draw another island and can resolve a master. Drawing a Cavern of Souls would be really good. So we're going to try to Ancestral. And I think that we're probably losing this game now. We're just so far behind on cards. But if they don't have an answer to, if they don't have a removal and they're just like loaded up on counters, then we might not be in too bad of shape. But I think if they're a Pyromancer deck, like a Delver deck, they probably have some pretty decent removal. So even if they can't counter our dudes, they might be able to still, you know, keep our board pretty clear. Unfortunately, they had the basic. I think I would have wastelanded if they had played a duel last turn, just to try to keep them off any further gushes. But now if they play another basic or non-basic land, it's likely they could just gush again. So I don't even know if it's worth wastelanding them, except to just kind of keep them off mana. And if I use my wasteland, I kind of take myself off of being able to play a true name. So we'll see if they play another Pyromancer here. Nope, just Sudden Shock. So I think I'm going to copy this Silver Gill Adept. They've got 7 cards. They didn't take too long to let that through. And I think, again, we just wait. Possibly draw into a Lord. Make these guys unblockable. No sense in trading it with a token. Yeah, so there's Young Pyromancer. And I think they're probably just going to get an army of tokens going now. And so we really just kind of need to draw into a Lord. And then hope that it can stick around. Which, with a deck like this, I'm guessing they probably have some Pyroblasts and Lightning Bolts and probably more than one Sudden Shock. So we could be in pretty bad shape right now. So I think we do Wasteland here. If they gush, then I mean we're already pretty far behind. But it might just slow them down just a little bit. But they've got 3 mana, 5 cards. My guess is we've probably lost this. I think we'll have to Flusterstorm here. It at least takes them off their mana. And yeah, I think we're good. So good game. We're not going to come back from that. And so what is good? I think we take out the Null Rods, bring in Dismembers. And I think that's probably it. So pretty easy to sideboard there. Most of these cards don't really do anything against this style of deck. Looks like we're just kind of playing like a blue-red Delver. So basically just try to keep Pyromancer off the board and kind of try to grow our guys out of Bolt or Sudden Shock range. All it takes is 2 Lords on the board and all of a sudden they can't Sudden Shock. They can still Bolt. If you get 3 Lords out, then all of a sudden they can't Bolt any of our guys either. So we'll be on the play again. We don't have to mulligan like crazy this time. This actually looks pretty good. So we don't have any counter spells, but we do have a True Name Nemesis turn 2. And if they choose to counter the Silvergill Adept, then that just makes it more likely we can resolve the True Name. So it would be nice to have a Cavern. So if this resolves, maybe between this and our next draw step, we'll find one. Dismember's not bad either. So if this is Island, I'm tempted to strip mine and then play Lord of Atlantis. Try to bait out the counter for True Name. And keep them off of Gush. So we will Wasteland here. And then we'll go ahead and cast another Silvergill Adept. Mental Misstep's actually a really good draw here. So I'm going to try to keep them from finding some more land. And just really try to keep them off Gush. And now we have a pretty good clock going. And it's possible they don't have any more mana. Looks like they did. So Pyroblast. So that's one less Pyroblast that can counter our True Name. So I think I'll run the Curse Catcher out. And maybe that'll help us resolve our True Name next turn. And it also leaves us Dismember mana open if they are able to land a Young Pyromancer. Unfortunately, I did find another land, so if they just kind of pass, then Curse Catcher might not be as good. So ideally, they'll tap out this turn. Yes, there's Mox Pearl. So let's see if they try to resolve a Pyromancer, and then even if they force our Dismember, then we'd still be able to land the True Name. But it looks like they're going to play it smart. So now here's an interesting situation because I kind of want to play the Silver Gull Adept, but I'm going to have to reveal that I have a True Name Nemesis, and that gives them some information. But I think we have to play it. So I think we'll attack first. We'll see if they try to sudden shock. If they did, then they would tap out, and then maybe we'd be able to use our Curse Catcher. So unfortunately, I'm going to reveal that I have this True Name waiting. But Double Dismember seems pretty good, especially now that we're building up a pretty good board presence. So yeah, our mana denial strategy didn't really work out well at all. And unfortunately, we don't have any lords to make our guys unblockable. So if they are able to make a couple tokens here, then it could just kind of make it hard for us to keep attacking. So they're going to probe. So they're going to see that we have 2 Dismembers. We got the True Name. So they might be thinking about sudden shocking the Curse Catcher, because that opens up Force of Will. So even though they're tapped out, getting the Curse Catcher off the board can prevent this True Name from coming down. I'm just kind of hoping I'm going to draw a Cavern here. Mental Misstep is still pretty good. So we might as well attack in right now. And I think we just say go.
Start your spring projects today with huge savings right
I mean, it's
now.
possible at this point, down to 5 life, that we True Name. But I should have tapped the Mox Sapphire there. There wasn't really a good reason to tap the island.
Get started with spring's biggest savings. Start with Lowe's.
It probably doesn't matter.
Appliance offer valid 2/15 through 2/28. Applies to select items. See store for details. U.S. only.
Alright, so there's Strip Mine. So there's Young Pyromancer. So we'll definitely try to clear that from the board right now. And so we may have missed our opportunity to cast that True Name. So maybe we were playing a little bit too conservatively. I think we have to dismember this Young Pyromancer. As much as I'd like to Phantasmal Image a Silvergill Adept right now. Also, actually, it looks like Moto just froze. So I'm trying to tap one to pay for it. Because my plan here is I can pay for this Flusterstorm, and then I can Curse Catcher this other Flusterstorm. Ah, there we go. So, yeah, for some reason, looks like maybe my internet's down a little bit. So it looks like maybe we crashed a little bit. Yeah, so definitely lagging here. Yeah, so hopefully that dismember resolves. They're down to 1 card and 2 elementals. I still don't think we attack. I definitely want something to copy with that Phantasmal Image. So I think we go for this True Name now. They did have Force of Will mana, or even Mind Break Trap. They could have Pyroblasted, but I think it was still good to just kind of go for it. I don't know that there's any good reason to trade these Silver Gills for those tokens, so we'll go ahead and pass. And then next turn we'll be able to hopefully copy this True Name. I don't know if there's a reason to not play that island. Yep, so two True Names on board. I think we're looking pretty good right now. I mean, unless they have some sort of like sweeper. Man, we're really lagging again. So I'm not sure why. I don't usually have that problem. Alright, so the last card was a Sudden Shock. So we're still at a pretty healthy 8. They're down to 2. I think we've probably won this one. And now, unfortunately, we are going to be on the draw, which seems kind of bad against them. Yep, so I think we'll still keep doing what we've been doing. Dismembers did a lot of work in that last matchup, or that last game. So hopefully we have a really strong opening 7. Because like I said, I think we'll probably need it being on the play or on the draw. This is a really interactive hand, but it doesn't have... I don't really have any threats. And I'd probably end up pitching... I'm tempted to mulligan this. But I think we'll keep. It could be totally wrong. Like I said, I mean, I don't have any real threats right now, which is kind of bad. Drawing that Silver Gill Adept is really nice. So they're just going to leave up a couple fetches. So there's our third Force of Will. We can't actually cast the Silver Gill Adept. So we're just going to kind of be forced to play Island Go. Alright, so we look pretty good against Wasteland right now. This lag is pretty frustrating. We could just trade this Wasteland for the Wasteland. I mean, it could. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to take them off that wasteland. Just prevents them from fetching into like a red source and going for like a pyromancer and then getting a couple tokens. So a lot of land. So there's a master. We can start trying to actually cast some of these things. So probably a pyroblast. I'm going to mental misstep that. So they've got a mental misstep. I could try to force a will. We'll still kind of be at parity because we're going to draw a card with that Silvergill Adept. And I really kind of want to target for this Phantasmal image. Could be totally wrong. So they got another Pyroblast maybe. Yep, can't. I don't think I'm going to fight over that. And I can just try to land this master next turn. Yeah, this lag is really frustrating. So I think we try to force this. And then, so that was a really good draw. So another land here would be great. But now we're kind of set up if we can draw a cavern. Or even another land. I think they didn't counter that Force of Will, which makes me think that it's probably safe to go for the True Name. We've already seen 2 Pyroblasts go through. They do have Force of Will mana, unfortunately. So maybe we should try to go with that master first. But they're down to 1 card. We do have a Dismember. I didn't see any other win conditions than a Pyromancer. And we're going to be able to get a pretty good clock going here. Man, now I really wish that I would have let out with that master. But we'll see if it matters. Yeah, so there's a sudden shock. Yeah, that was really kind of maybe I just got too excited to try to push damage through. So we've got 2 blue. They're gonna gush. And so hopefully they don't end up drawing themselves out of this. So they have 4 cards now, but So that was a great draw. They do have Mind Break Trap. I guess I should have attacked first just to, if they tried to like Sudden Shock, take them off of Mind Break Trap mana. But I think we just have to go for it. Sweet. And now we still have Dismember up in case they try to cast Pyromancer. I mean, maybe it would have been right to see if I drew something like a like my own Flusterstorm. I probably don't really have to be mana efficient at this point because I have 4 land. Nothing I play costs more than that unless you're talking about casting a Silvergill Adept. And we would actually be able to pay for that Flusterstorm. Yeah, so that may have been a mistake. Making a couple mistakes here. We do have a 2-turn clock though. They do only have so many cards, so unless they kind of cantrip into a bunch of tokens, we're looking pretty good. So this is going to be pretty close. I think we're going to need to draw into like a blocker. But maybe even then we're okay. Man, it's going to be close. So kind of drawing 3 land there really kind of stunk. So if they don't draw a burn spell, I think we're okay. So no burn spells. Come on. Yeah, because I think even a Sudden Shock will do it, because they're swinging for 6. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just needed to draw like 1 blocker. Yeah, so we're waiting for them to cast a spell. But this has been a close match, so even if we lose, still been a pretty good, like I said, a pretty good match. Went to 3 games, kind of came down to the wire. The fact they didn't just like auto bolt me makes me wonder if Maybe I'm okay here. Maybe they drew a Snapcaster Mage and are going to... Well, they don't have Bolt. They could Snapcaster Gush. Look for another Bolt. They haven't made their land drop yet either, though. So if they have a young Pyromancer and they were able to draw into a land, they could also just well, they don't have Sudden Shock either. So they're trying to draw into some burn. Oh man. Man, this is killing me. So they didn't concede, which makes me think they probably have the Bolt. Either that or they're just kind of playing it out. But I don't know why they would, I mean, they know my hand. Well, sweet, we went 3-1. Got ourselves some packs, got some chests.